together, I was thinking of you driving this car in there, and I was like, God, that would be amazing. It'd be so cool. Yeah. I was like, you have to build this. Yeah.
It's funny, man, because I wasn't sure that could be all right, because I felt the pressure from you. Just you keep going, and I was a little behind. I was like, all right, I had to just commit for one option.
From the blue one, yeah.
Yeah, from the blue one.
Right, yeah, that one's such a clean build. My God, yeah, that turbo is huge. It's bigger than most Spanish cars.
Man,
so cool.
I spent so many hours just, all right, so if the engine is there and the suspension here, the chassis, it sounds kind of ridiculous where the suspension is or where the engine is landing on the chassis, but from my point of view, like I don't know, I need to look at it. I mean, in my brain makes sense, but I need to double check how everything connects each other, you know.
I love that we're doing this. It's time capsuling. I also love that we're capturing moments as you go through it, because just the floating car there with everything kind of figure it out. It's like, dude, so cool. Well, damn, it's been a long time since we've done an episode. We've both been really busy and timing, and I've been traveling and you've been busy and off and on. But it's nice to actually have a gap between these episodes, I'd say. I think that this time between things gives us more clarity on what we're doing, our vision, why we're doing what we're doing. This is a great one, because this is like an all-in effort from you. All of them are all-in efforts, but I say like this is one of those that I feel like you just didn't hold back at all, and you went all the way in, which was amazing.
Yeah, man. This I was really looking forward to this episode, not because of the car. It's because it's been a while we don't do this, and I'm really missing for different reasons. We couldn't make it, and finally we coming back. I'm really excited about this. Coming back and talk about shit. And this one is special because, as you know me, when I go just full on.
Yeah.
And this one, it could be one of the most craziest car I ever built. Because I wanted to try something really hard for me, which is going in the more technical side, which I feel really uncomfortable, really insecure. That's one of the reasons I'm really insecure doing this podcast about this car, because I feel like some areas where I'm basically just stepping in some waters where I don't feel comfortable. But
the engineering, the technical side of actually how an engine with twin turbos operates and functions. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that part. As you know, I'm not really a mechanic.
Yeah, but it's great though. Like, what better way to learn about this stuff than to like generate and create a simulated version of it? I think that's really awesome. I'd say the reason why I think you went so hard on this was the pairing to the next episode, which would be my dream vehicle, which is a GT40. This is your dream vehicle, a Chevy Nova, and I think that the illusion, the idea, the concept, the beauty of doing something that that this is how you would build it is so cool. Like thinking about it and putting all the work and time into it, and it's really, it shows in the final result, which is really fun. Again, we brought this up many times, and especially in the light of day now, which is all the AI stuff and like the oversaturation of like an abundance of like irrelevant images. It's really cool to kind of reflect on these things, because there's the only reason to do this stuff now is because you love to do it. And that's actually the only reason you should have done art anyways, for expression, or the desire to express yourself in some form of capacity, whether it's a car design or a painting or whatever, a photograph or whatever. So it's just really cool how far you went into this, and it was super inspiring because I had to kind of match you in insanity as much as possible, and I did my best, but you went
also really far on this one too, in your 40.
Yeah, we both kind of went crazy. I think you definitely went further, considering like you UV'd everything, and like I'm just looking at it now, like all the extra little details and like the dust and the speck and the painting of things, and just like that. Yeah, I don't think that you went this far and this hard on any other car yet.
No, this one, it was the pinnacle of going crazy about method. We also wanted to try something a little bit different, a little bit further in terms of how I can push the CGI part. how I
Yeah.
can manage to achieve that patina, all these kind of rusty areas, or the paint is falling apart, some rusty areas. So I was really keen to do that because I thought I can do it, but the end result was kind of a little bit tricky. But I can show you later some highlights of how I made this kind of a look. But for me, the first of all to me was creating a project, because I can tell this could be something real. If I have the money or resources, I will do this, exactly this. That's my dream car, the Chevy Nova. And it's just doing this episode, just to recap all the images and workflow. I reflect on why I picked this car. So many amazing cars, so many expensive ones, and these could be fairly cheap comparing, all the beautiful cars out there. And I try to understand why I picked this car. I have a clear answer. One is reference. I think I'm being leaned to American muscle car. I love that because as a childhood, I grew up in the 80s, 90s TV where everything in Spain was basically American. And one of those A-Team series or Knight Rider, or what else was the another a classic one? It was the General Lee with the brothers jumping the door charger. That
Yeah.
was crazy. And I always had this in my mind. It's just I love this kind of a massive car and just kind of behaving like a boat, just bouncing around and jumping. I love that. And but then when it clicked really, it was when I watched. You're gonna laugh about this, but
Yeah,
I
the
can
Death Trap or something.
the Death Proof
Death Proof.
Tarantino's
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
I know it's not your cup of tea, that
It's
movie,
okay. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
but man, that movie hit me hard.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that car, the black matte, just so violent. That car, it's just sinister car, and it's so cheesy, so stupid, but at the same time, it
If it
hit me
hits you, it
hard.
hits you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. It's also a
And
contrast to like the culture, as you mentioned, like being in Spain, growing up in Spain, living in Spain, currently in Spain, and then the difference between the cars there and then the cars in America, and then cars attached to American culture. Muscle car is like the thing. It's like Ferraris to Italian, it's a muscle car to American. It's so different. The approach is so different just because the culture, the landscape, the environment, all the things could tie together, There's a bunch of other films that are really cool that you might like that if you haven't seen, I'd suggest like American Graffiti or like Two Lane Blacktop and like these like pinnacle hot rod American muscle car kind of films that are really cool as well. There's a bunch of them from that
yeah,
era. Yeah, which is really cool. They take on a life of their own. And yeah, it's essential. Yeah. Muscle cars
yeah,
are sick. They're really cool.
yeah,
And they're
man.
kind of like a one thing kind of car. Like Aaron Beck has that beautiful his Barracuda, and it's just so epic and it's so well done, and it's crazy that he built it himself too. And but it's like a quintessential American muscle car experience. And it's funny because a lot of people that I know that love muscle cars don't even live here, don't even like, I think it's the thing that you don't have or you can't have, when we were in Malaga together, I was thinking of you driving this car in there, and I was like, God, that would be amazing. It would be so cool. Yeah. Yeah. I
Will
was
be
like, you have to build this. Yeah.
will be impossible to drive this in Malaga. He's too big. It will be a nightmare to park this car. It's just crazy.
You just tell people get out of the way. Yeah. Move. I'm here. Daddy's here. Yeah. But it would be the most incredible thing. It would be like it would be like a spectacle. You have to build it. The great thing too is like, so the brief of these two builds was build your dream car the way you would want it. And what's cool is like you didn't choose some sort of like rare like Lamborghini Mira or some sort of thing that would be unobtainable for you. You chose this car, and realistically to build a car like this at this spec, it's totally obtainable. Like it's
Yeah.
totally possible. It would just take time, effort, and you would obviously, I think knowing you would want to be like I am with my 280Z, is just like touching everything, doing everything yourself as much as possible, learning the process because it's so rewarding.
Totally. I think what it means this car is a dream is not because the actual car itself is about what happened if I'm able to buy this car and the intention about behind of this car. And to
Mm.
me, the ideal is like if I have the resources and time to buy this car, that means I have a totally different life where I can invest my time learning and
Mm.
apply my knowledge to this car and build it
Mm.
for myself. That could
Mm.
be a dream, and
Mm.
no better car than this one could be. You know,
Mm. Good fit. Yeah.
it could be. I have so many beautiful cars. I would love to have them, like a Porsche Cayman S714
Yeah.
or a GT4 or Audi RS6. I would
Mm.
love those cars,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of money. I could buy one of those, but I don't know what it means that to have those cars. So,
Yeah. What would you
but
do with it too? Yeah.
yeah, just I don't know. Maybe having some crisis about supercars and cars in general.
Yeah.
And this is special. This is not just a car. It's just
Yeah.
your baby.
Extension, I
Yeah.
think. If you buy like say like a Porsche or any of these kind of cars, I think it makes sense if you have the money to take it to the racetrack and crash it and maintain it and all these kind of things. That's what it mean. That's what that car experience is. But this one would be like, oh, you'd have to build it and make it yourself and like understand how it all works and like building engines and pulling them out and putting them in and understanding everything through it and how it connects to the rest of the car and the experience. It's more of like oh, this car took me 10 years to build, but and it's still going, that kind of thing, which is would be an extension of who you
I mean,
are,
you're
which is
doing it
cool.
with your set, right?
Trying to. I'm in the very beginning stages. Yeah. 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 It's just sitting in the garage, like fully apart. But
How
yeah,
long have you been working on that car now?
not too long actually, since
One
March.
year and a
So
half?
no, like maybe 5 months or something.
What is your take on, based on your experience now, how you feel about when you started, now comparison with now, how you feel about it?
Um,
It's a positive experience so far? How
yeah,
is
for
that kind of
sure.
a
There's a
balance?
lot of lows. There's a lot of heavy lows. Like, what the hell did I do? Why am I doing this? This was a stupid idea. I'm dumb. And uh, a lot of negative self-talk. But then there's also like a lot of good positive things as well that come in where it's like, oh, I can't believe that I've overcome this. So like I just recently installed all of the brand new brakes and suspension and put in the new differential and axles and everything. And I've never done anything that extensive. So the whole bottom of the car came out. And then I put all the new stuff in. I've never done anything like that. So it's just really rewarding. I'm looking forward to like driving it now so I can see if I didn't fuck it up too bad. And there's such a long list of things just to do before I can even get it on the road, which is like getting everything together, assembled, settled, cutting up the body so the suspension fits, and then taking that and then taking everything and getting it aligned and tuned, like tuning the suspension so everything works in harmony, and corner balancing so everything actually functions as it should. It's a whole journey. Yeah. But
Cool, man. Thank you for
yeah.
sharing that, because maybe nobody knows really what's going on. But if
Yeah.
you don't mind to share this, because we talk, through the chat, that you send me some picture on videos what you're doing, meanwhile you're doing the garage, and
Yeah.
as you mentioned, pulling apart the car, putting it back again, and it's really impressive and really inspiring to see you going that particular challenge. And I
Mm.
can tell that could be a hell sometime to figure
Mm.
out things and not really know what is going on or what should I do, what is the best option, what is kind of the best pieces, what is the process. That's a lot of problem solving, and
Yeah.
all I have is inspiration from you. Like, oh man, that's so epic to see that. And
Mm.
my take on when you share it, I can tell the feeling of proudness and the adventure to go in this kind of a build, and it's really inspiring, man.
I'm blessed. Thank you. I'm blessed. I'm 42 years old now, so like I've been waiting my whole life to do this for the most part because I've always wanted to, and I'm now finally able to get a chance to like pour myself into a project, an extension of myself, and like I have not wealthy, but I have enough money to like build something at a very small budget. And I love that's all part of it. It's really like, I don't know. I'm excited. That's why I like when I see this, I'm excited to see you actually build this. And I think you could get it so close to this. But yeah, to do this and to do it in Spain could be kind of tricky just because you'd have to have a lot of shipping things and things would kind of come to you. But God, what an incredible experience. Again, as I mentioned, Aaron Beck and his Barracuda, he built that like over a long duration of time while working at Weta, and then like using like small garages and stuff, if I understand how he built it. But then he shipped it from New Zealand out to Los Angeles where he lives now. And so he has that, which is, you know what I mean? Like you could still finish things and move them around and stuff. It's just, it comes down to like, why you're doing it, I suppose. Because at the end of the day, I think it's what it's teaching me and showing me is so much about like being patient with the journey. I'm not a patient person, so it's just making me super patient. I have to be waiting for parts, or the wrong parts show up, and then I go to install them and they're wrong, and I have to go like one small thing turns into like 40 different problems that you have to solve, and then you have to just be like, well, okay. Like I'm a super clean, organized person, and some days like the whole garage is just a absolute pit, like just fucking shit everywhere, and I'm like, well, I'm done for the day, and I just turn off the light and leave. And like, yeah, it's like that drives me nuts, but it's a part of the journey, Yeah, and you know how it is to be ourselves. We're very creative problem solvers, trying to think of things. So with everything I have to do, there's 3 to 5 other ideas that come out. Oh, I should do that, and then damn, one of those ideas could be like a 6-month journey. You just never know. But yeah, but anyways, it's a whole
one of
thing.
those brilliant and amazing ideas at the same time.
Yeah, you just don't realize how taxing your ideas become. We see it when we're building cars with our partners and stuff, like how wild it is, the journey that they have to take to bring something to fruition. Like we're seeing it right now with the Paradigm. It's like, damn, that's crazy. Like there's so much. Or the guys in Germany, the Holy Hall guys building the ESP. It's like, those guys are so talented and they're hitting so many walls. Like just making the glass work for the windshield was like an absolute journey for them. At that level, think about how skilled they are too, and how much problems they run into just building it. But
Man, I'm clueless. I'm no idea how even start to even think about solve that problem. It's just totally beyond of my brain, just going over my head like poof. Yeah.
99.9% of the world's population is the same way. I would say there's only a certain amount of people, and those guys are like that, where they can just kind of problem solve, dig in there, and make it happen. It makes sense when I see people's cars that are half built on the side of their houses here in America. There's so many of them. It makes sense. I go, okay, you got super hard, you gave up on it, but not enough to get rid of it. It's just sitting there. Yeah.
It's a reminder.
I refuse, though. Waiting. I refuse to let that happen.
I didn't give up yet. Love it.
Hopefully not.
I have so much respect and admiration for these people. Now
same.
you are also including that package.
Well, we'll see. We'll see once it starts driving. Don't put me in that group of amazing people until it starts driving.
Do you think by the time in November when I'm gonna go there, visit you, it's gonna be ready to run?
Oh man, don't put the pressure on. But yeah, that'd be nice. That's actually a good goal. It's really hot here in the summer. It's hot everywhere now. So being in the garage, like on the ground all over the place. So, but I mean,
September maybe.
So we're August, September, October. I'm thinking like probably right around like mid to end of October. Probably. I'm hoping it'll be a roller again. Like can be driven. If anything, I can take you around the block. And we can laugh. But yeah,
super epic, man.
Yeah, I have to get all the suspensions on there. I have to cut the fenders, the front and the rear, which is so sketchy. Then I have to mount the fender flares, get the suspension to sit right in there, and then build a custom exhaust and tie up a bunch of other loose ends that I need to do, which is like, that's where all the time goes into like these little things. And then yeah, I suppose after that, I have to get that all tuned and everything too. So yeah, probably three or so months from now, 5 months, 10 months, I don't know, 400 years. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, the reason why I bring this up is because it's like I'm hoping someday you get a chance to do the same journey. I think you could and would, and it would be awesome. And your mental capacity is fully able to do something like this, and it's totally obtainable money wise if
Yeah.
you spread it out. You know, if you spread this build out over like 5 years or a decade, $60,000 or whatever it ends up being, it is not that
Yeah.
much money. You know.
In my head, the top could be around 100K. That could be the
Oh, you could build
maximum
this for
budget.
like 50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would be like a beautiful car for 100K. Something really top. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about horsepower. I'm talking about the quality of the build.
Yeah.
All the pieces
Yeah.
premium, all the wheels, all the element there had to be top notch, and
Well,
could
this
be.
version isn't though. This would be like the rough version, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
again,
I think
also
this
the
is cooler.
exteriors. I love the exterior could be just rusty. I love that
Yeah.
look. Actually, I grabbed some images here where my muse
Yeah.
is coming from.
So good. The
Man, when
Bullet
you
Mustang.
share with me that Nova,
It's the best. Yeah.
that was like that is exactly the car I want, but
Yeah.
just mixing with a Mustang, with a Bullet, with the movie.
Yeah.
Damn, that's the look I want.
Yeah, I
That's the
love
look
that Nova. We saw it on Bring a Trailer. How much did that sell for? Do you remember?
I think it was around 60K
That's
something.
crazy. That
Yeah.
person put in at least 90 or so
Yeah, this
into it.
car is just beautiful. The
Super sick.
really
Perfect stance.
chunky meat. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got like that old school drag radial kind of style, rear suspension setup, and it was a turboed engine, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
it was a
remember.
turbo
Yeah.
engine. I have
Oh,
more picture
crazy.
there where you can show you.
Yeah.
But this basically my blueprint for my Nova.
So
Basically
cool.
that. Maybe the front wheel is a little bit tiny because that's basically that drag race car
Yeah.
for the street, I guess.
So
Actually,
cool.
can you drive this car in the street in the state?
Sure, why not? Who cares? You could do a lot of stuff. It just depends on when you get caught and how you get caught. Yeah,
Yeah.
this thing rips. It's got the full cage tucked
Yeah.
into it. Yeah, it's just really nicely done. All new clean, all new bright work, clean interior, like just so sick. You could see a little bit of rust in there. It's cool that they tagged the cage. They mounted it into like the B pillar and A pillar of the actual car itself too.
Yeah.
So it's just like one
The
solid
greenhouse
unit.
attached to the cage. Yeah.
It's crazy that there's like Japanese JDM bride seats in there too, which is also really cool. It's just
Yeah.
like such a cool combination, such a modern day build of an American muscle car. Yeah, that thing is sick.
Look at that. It's just
Yeah.
perfection.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, man, but this particular shape, the
Mm-hmm.
stance of the car, the wheels. The only thing that is not for me is the car paint. Is too
Yeah.
bling
Baby
bling,
blue.
shiny thing.
Yeah,
But I
that's
get
easy.
it.
You could remedy that. You could just paint it like that.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't get the rust like to be real, but you could paint it like shitty and make it look bad. Yeah, God, I love those fastback Mustangs. So
Beautiful.
sick. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I really wanted one of those. They're so expensive now.
This one is being from the movie and it's being sold already. I don't know if of 6 million, something like that. If I
Yeah,
remember well,
yeah. It's a part of
the
it's
history.
a legacy thing. That's when like wealthy people just buy assets to just keep them as assets, and now that car is not like a car; it's just an asset.
Yeah.
Yeah, diversifying wealth for the ultra elite. Yay! Yeah, those two combos. I remember that Nova. That was so sick. Yeah.
Yeah. And it
Perfect
was
combo.
funny, man. Part of the conversation where we started to talk about what it could be my dream car. I said, I saw so many Nova, but you were there. I picked that car and shared with me. I was immediately fell in love. Like, yeah, that's the Nova. Mainly because the wheels. The wheel makes huge difference in this car. So when I start to try about what it could be my dream car, I mock up really quickly using Ham 3D model, just putting some wheels and putting on black and see what happened. And I had kind of a two option where it was the top, it's just, just a few bars giving this kind of a super mean and sinister look where I love that feeling. Just,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a cage and hidden everything, just a kind of boxy feeling. But also the B version, which is could be even without headlights, it's just black thing box. I love
Mm-hmm.
that thing, and keep doing it.
So
Practicing
good.
really quickly, super rough, super easy, just swapping wheels and trying to,
Iterating.
yeah, iterating, try to get that stance of the car, which is the main important thing, and figure out if I feel it right or if I don't feel it right.
Mm-hmm.
Even you can see here, just swapping wheels, the car looks different. Also bumper as
Totally.
well.
Yep.
It's crazy. So this, I was playing around with this for a week,
Mm-hmm.
just doing that, just rotating, swapping wheels, moving the suspension, moving the heights. I spend a lot of time just to make sure I'm doing the right call.
What are you looking for? Is it a series of different things as you're
Um,
iterating? Because this is a very important part, and it's almost all comes down to instinct. But I'm curious what you're looking for.
I'm looking for the instant click in my subconscious brain of taste of cars. I don't know how to describe it.
Mm.
It's like when I see this, it's immediately yes, yes, let's go.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find the same thing, but without copying that car. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
just copy. It would be a little bit boring. It could be just
Sure.
easy, just copying this wheel and then boom, I got the car. So I wanted to do a twist. That's why I bring some kind of a variation on the what it could be the grill, what it could be the bumper, but
Mm-hmm.
subtle changes on the car, but mainly the wheels. What it could be the different option. And it's funny, man, because I wasn't sure that could be all right because I felt the pressure from you. Just you keep going it. I was a little behind. I was like, all right, I had to just commit for one option,
Yeah.
and I think I went for this option, the Hoosier wheels with the Steely um, wheels as
Yeah.
well.
Mm.
Also some exploration as well. Again with the
So good.
grill, super
Yeah, I
clean.
forgot about these.
Yeah,
Yeah, those look great.
yeah.
So clean. Also, the left side mirror and yeah, the new upgraded grill and all these kind of things.
Hmm.
They all add up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
It took me a while. I think I spent a week easily doing just
Mm.
that. I mean, I have endless of renders doing the White Studio. I try to get the vibe of how I feel about the car. I wonder now if we have uh, VR, will be a little bit easier to pick up
Mm.
those specific spec for the car. What kind of wheels? What is the height of the car? What is the stand? What is the suspension does of the car?
I
I don't know.
wonder. Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of interfacing with keyboards, mouse, and a flat screen. I
Yeah,
wonder if being more immersed in it. Sometimes I feel like that would maybe create more noise. You know,
same, same.
objectivity is like you could go really far away from it, but if you're in, I guess if you're in VR, you can move it around. But yeah, I
Hmm.
haven't found a VR experience that I like yet. I haven't tried the Apple one. I hear that one's good, but they all make me kind of sick.
Same, same.
Yeah.
I think on Christmas I played with my brother. We were playing Killing Zombies. It was fun
Mm.
for half an hour, and then I get sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It gets like, oh, yeah, it's a
very
little too
dizzy.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah, these are great though. Yeah, it's cool to see.
and
Oh,
then
here we go.
here we
Here we
go. That's
go.
when I went nuts.
So,
That's
how do you make this shift? Do you have like a list in your mind or a list that you've written down, or you just kind of know what you need to do?
hmm.
You're building like subframes and like connecting it and starting going to the engineering. You find references.
I think because I noticed like in some point I would love to have
Mm.
bumper, so without bumper, and
Yeah.
see through what's going on behind.
Mm.
So I thought, right, in order to do that, I think I need to create some chassis, some internal part to be able to make a car super raw without bumper. And
Mm.
that was the idea. Having, you know me, I love when you see through, you see stuff, something like a
Mm.
machine is alive. And I love that feeling when, mainly in the muscle car, where you can see through. The car is so big, so much space, so many holes. It's
Yeah.
beautiful when you see all these kind of a mechanical behind. And I
Yeah.
noticed like, oh, this model is not good enough. I need to do a lot of work to be able to show what is going on behind of the bumper. And that's when it starts to get really crazy. I searching so many reference about, all right, what is the actual chassis look like? Where,
Yeah.
how everything is connected, where the engine is sit
So cool.
behind of the chassis, or is above the chassis, the suspension arm is going this, attached to what? Man,
So
I
cool.
spent so many hours just, all right, so if the engine is there and the suspension here, the chassis, it sounds kind of ridiculous where the suspension is or where the engine is landing on the chassis, but from my point of view, like I don't know, I need to look at it. I mean, in my brain makes sense, but I need to double check how everything connects each other, you know. So that's
Yeah.
the reason I spend so many hours on YouTube. So many
Yeah.
amazing people just uh, putting apart all the car and putting together, showing all the breaking videos. Is
So
really
cool.
cool, man.
Yeah, it's super cool.
So
Yeah,
here you
so
go.
you do a lot of research and try to gather as much information as possible. YouTube is a great example too, where there's just vloggers or people making things and sharing their process with it along the way for references.
Yeah, and that's the majority of the time is wasting just looking reference and crossing information. Oh, this builder is doing that, but that guy is doing this. Which model is what chassis is this?
Yeah, these are all custom cars too, so they're all
Yeah,
finding solutions that aren't OEM or from the factory. They're completely one-off, like new versions of things, like that rear end. That whole rear end's like another company's, like that all new shit. Wow, that fucking differential
the
rear end's
differential
just
is
like a
madness.
solid big boy. Look at that exhaust too. It just goes into like that block and then just dumps out right there. God, it's got to sound incredible. Yeah,
Yeah. When I
yeah,
found this reference, like, all right, that's it. I don't
yeah.
need anything else. All what I need just follow these guys and just basically understanding where
So cool.
things it goes and all the suspension and all the
Cow tracks.
yeah.
That's cool. Big and chunky. It's got like a fan, like like an external oil cooler or something back there or whatever that is. That's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
right underneath the fuel tank. Yeah. It's got all like nice new. That's another thing I got really obsessed with is like fittings and hardware, and it's just the details of things. Not only do we do that with our own digital cars, but it's fun to do in the real life too. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
cool. Did you make that diff? Did you make that, or is that from the Baja car, the Baja trucks?
That I think is coming from the Baja, and I adapted and changed it a little bit to make
So
it fit in
cool.
here.
Yeah,
And once you have the reference, as you know, everything becomes super easy to understand. Oh,
yeah.
what is this? It's going, the nuts is going through, and then you have that kind of arm suspension there. It's attached to
Yeah,
this, to the
leaf
body,
spring.
the chassis.
Yeah,
All right, cool. I have the cables. Cool. I can do that. There you go.
yeah.
That's it.
Boom. Yeah,
Easy and fast.
yeah, yeah. It's cool. Yeah, it's crazy. That's like leaf spring rear. How it goes nuts. Yeah, and then just the right amount of information that you need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was really keen to have really low camera and showing the actual mechanic underneath of the car. It's not empty shell. You see something, it's like heavy.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you need this, fill out with stuff.
I'd say this was what really differentiates our approach from anybody else that does this is that we just go so far into the minutia of it. Because I can't think of, I mean, there's other people that do this in CGI, but it's,
Yeah,
maybe two.
not too
This is
many.
when it gets really insane. Yeah.
Yeah, not too many. Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, that's all nice. All those things. So rad.
Something
All
like
those extra details too.
I want to show you is also for the viewers, just in case they are curious about my methods
Yeah.
to doing the welding. It's kind of a rudimentary and kind of a hacking. It's not really realistic, but for kind of renders I'm doing, that's the trick. It makes sense. And really quickly I can go through and just in 3D Max we have the pull and push. And I have to just subdivide at hell in certain areas where I can just use a brush, kind of a dot brush, just manually just painting, just printing that dot with
Oh, so it gives you like a brush and geometry that you can push and pull in just that area, so it creates the illusion of the welding beads, I
yeah,
guess.
exactly. Here you can
That's
tell
cool.
what is the
The brush.
profile of the welding. That's kind of a half of it. and that's it. That's just all what I do, and just by hand and doing this.
That's cool.
It's kind of a hacky, doesn't make any sense for welding, but again, just for the right amount of distance, it kind of
Yeah.
make the trick.
Yeah, I mean, from that view, it looks real, which is
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, especially right there. And yeah, there are some renders where you can kind of see some of it, which is killer. So you would make like basically like a edge loop or a loop of geometry, subdivide just that loop inside that main piece, and then in there you would just go manually and paint around it.
Exactly.
With
See
the
a
mouse,
massive
yeah.
division here, and then here still kind of low poly.
Yeah, so it
they,
doesn't get super dense and heavy. It's
Exactly.
almost like decimating minus decimating, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, that's
Small
super
tricks.
cool.
Small tricks.
Yeah, well, they all add up too. There's a lot of these little tricks that you've acquired over the years too that I think most people would probably not even realize exist, or that it's just like things that you figured out. Because I think you've done that on a couple other builds where you focus in on one zone and then add detail through the geometry and then bounce out. You'd either do it that way or you would unwrap it and then go to Substance Painter and add it through the displacement.
Yeah. I would say that could be the most flexible, could be the most, how's it called? Sorry, I just lost my word. And that could be
Using
the most
displacement?
efficient. Yeah, but the most efficient. Going to Substance Painter, you have more control, go back and forth.
Yeah,
Try
push
to,
and pull.
testing really well what it could be the best result. Also, so many plugins out there to make in Substance Painter beautiful welding. So all what I can show you right now is just basically a hack.
Cool to see it geo. I like the geo approach too. I mean, they do similar things. Yeah.
Same. I like the simplicity when we are, swapping geometry and changing geometry is easier than textures. When Cinema 4D is a little bit.
Yeah. Every time I
With the
say
textures.
load the texture. Also, I would say because you're emulating a physical detailed thing, like using textures isn't connected to the reality of what it was to do that. You know what I mean? It's like the geometry, doing it through the geometry feels more connected to the real world physicality of the push and pull of the metal, basically. If that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
because some things with the CGI process is so annoying and they're so removed from like reality that it's just like, this doesn't make sense to do it like this. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
But to be fair, it's so many amazing plugin and technique to make beautiful welding.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm doing the right decision to make geometry because the sake of simplicity and going fast, the last thing I want to just UV and wrapping this geometry.
Oh God, yeah.
No,
yeah.
man, I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to unwrap it and do all the process. But again, coming down to how much effort you want to do and how much hack you can do, what is the cost, what is the pros and cons about what you're gonna do. So I knew the shot is gonna be something like this. So I don't need more details. That's plenty. So
Yeah.
I didn't need to go to that craziness. Considering I'm going crazy already, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Well, you can go way further too. It can never ending. But yeah, the cool thing is that you knew that this is just like the shot that you wanted to see. So you went and did the work to make sure it worked. Okay, now we're going to the front of the.
But
of the
obviously,
car.
all what I'm saying, just going to the bin, doesn't make any sense because now I'm jumping to, hey, will be really cool to have a car without the hood and see the engine. Yeah, let's go.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw this picture. I go, that could be really juicy.
Yeah. Twin turbo LS.
Yeah, LS3 twin turbo, supercharged. Let's go. And I don't know, man. I think I lost it. I think I lost it.
Yeah. So how did you approach this? Because this is like, the idea that you were like, oh, let's do an exposed hoodless. I remember when you told me, I think maybe I was showing you the GT40 and then the GT40, you just take the clip off and you could see the engine. And I don't know if I was doing that prior to you doing this or you were doing this prior, but because it's been so long ago, but how do you approach something like this because you have to now build the firewall, the inner fender wells, the inside of the fenders, the crash member, the front support system, all these things. That's not even the engine part, but then there's the engine as well. So how do you even start with this?
One is a really bad idea. A second, because you were doing, showing a little bit, see through the windows, the engine, it was beautiful. And I thought, how much effort and time will cost me doing this kind of shot, building an engine. And I thought it shouldn't be that problematic. It's just only need good reference and good asset. I think everything you can duplicate it, some tubes and here.
Sure.
Finding the right asset, I can get away with many things. Obviously, I was measuring wrong, completely wrong on my approach. So it was really stupid. But the good thing is like I have you and I have my good friend Guillermo, which is also amazing. He's an amazing CG artist. Also, he has amazing understanding of engine and mechanics. So it was a kind of all right, I have the resources, I know how to do it, I have the support, I have the friends. So the only things here in the friction point is time. And I think I have the time to do something crazy. And I thought maybe it could be done in 1 month. I can do everything. And this could be a task of 2 weeks doing the engine. And I was thinking it could be affordable. I can do that in 2 weeks. And it was basically started from scratch, searching what kind of a look. Hear me out. What kind of look? It sounds so wrong,
No, it's
You're
good
building,
though.
you're
Yeah.
building an engine and you think about the look.
You have to. Yeah. It's part of the packaging of the experience. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew it's gonna be kind of a powerful, something like it could be also for a drag race. Could be around 90, 100 horsepower, 1,000 ish, with maybe a 1 turbo. But I love the look of a 2 turbos around, and it looks so badass. So that's why this image to me is kind of I love this look. It's so raw. The only thing I didn't like, it was the blanket on the turbo. It was a little bit,
the diaper.
yeah, the diapers. It was a little puffy, but then I found this one. Oh, you can have also these diapers. Ah, yeah, here you go.
Nice clean diapers. Yeah.
Yes, we are game here.
That's a big single turbo. Damn. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Massive.
Yeah.
That's the actual engine for the Nova.
From the blue one. Yeah.
Yeah, for the blue one.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah.
That one's such a clean build. My God. Yeah, that turbo is huge. It's bigger than most Spanish cars. It's such a clean car. My God, that thing is so sick. Just
Isn't that beautiful,
all the way done. I'm wondering if they do twin turbo because it's a V8 and then it's from both sides. They get both exhaust ports and then combine them and make it even. I wonder if that's why there's a twin turbo on that. Because I guess, yeah, because I don't know if you would twin turbo. I guess people do different configurations, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the answer. All what I have is just
one big pump. Just one big pump. Yeah. I hate the blue accents in that bay. I want to why did they do that? That stuff drives me so nuts, dude. I spend so much time eradicating color from things. Yeah.
I know you're being really critical on that one.
Yeah, might as well. So even if you look at that's weird that they use the red valve cover on the Nova example, which is so weird comparison to everything else. But those little red accents are stop it.
I guess they want to keep it original from the market.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just it's red. It's coming red, but let's leave it in red.
I bet you could get it in black.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you could have paint matched the valve covers to the car if you wanted to, but yeah. Yeah, even if you look at the hinges and everything in that, it's just everything is done, and it has all the AN lines, all the fittings, everything that connects to one another is the AN Army Navy beautiful, everything is nice. Yeah, it's such a cool build.
Yeah.
Such a good reference too. Yeah.
So that was basically my mock-up. That was the process with Guillermo, because he asked me, "Hey, Carlos, so what do you want to do here?" And I told him, "Man, Guillermo, I don't know, man. I want to do that twin turbo LS3. That's it." all right, but and then he started to making question about, all right, what kind of turbo, what kind of exhaust, what kind of, so many questions.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I don't know. You tell me.
Mhm.
So I was like, all right, cool. All right, if it would be my car, I will do this. So step by step, we were building SketchUp, doing some sketch on top
Sure.
of this kind of a mock-up, trying to figure out what kind of pieces and how it's going to be distributed. So after few days, I have this. Well, all right, I have a twin turbos there. The intake is connected with the LS3. You have the intercooler there, so everything kind of makes sense. My main security is here is because I have no idea about
Yeah. Yeah, where's your
any of
charge
this.
piping going in? It looks like it's not connecting.
Yeah, it's just he's something like, oh, you can get away with this kind of view because also I was working with Guillermo, explaining, all right, I'm not gonna go further in this view. It's gonna be just top view, side view, something like that. So
Sure.
something like, I'm crazy, but not that stupid. I need to work. I need to work a little bit more in the efficient way.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to create a realistic engine just for the
Sure.
look of it, so I can get away with certain stuff, some license for the viewer.
Mm.
Um, that was the main concern I have because I had to rely so much on you and Guillermo. So I felt a little bit insecure. So those days I was like a kind of anxious of it. I don't know, is it this cable connected with this and here? Is that so? Check it with him. Like, yeah, that makes sense. But and then few hours later, I'm doing something wrong, connecting weird things with whatever. It's like he was like just laughing. Kind of, what are you doing here?
Yeah, because turbos are like a whole difference. It's like you have your engine, which is where all the combustion happens, and then your turbo is based off expent exhaust gas that turns a turbine that then is pushing charged cooler air off you have to have everything connecting right so that everything goes back in the engine's charged with more pressure, creates more powerful bang basically. But
Yeah.
getting that to flow, and then since you wanted to do twin turbo, you have to X out everything else too, and that's just more piping, plumbing, cables, pieces, all the stuff kind of gets more and more wild. Yeah, turbos are cool. They're just such a bitch because there's so many components that could fail, and then you're just chasing failures all over the place. Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of
Yeah.
stuff. It's cool that you went into it. Did you feel like you learned a lot through the process? Like, got a chance to
Um,
like understand the engineering and mechanics behind this stuff?
I would say it's an improvement of my knowledge, but coming from a really really baseline, I wouldn't say a massive one because I'm still really behind of understanding the why. And yeah, I can understand that for sure. Someone, with you and Guillermo, I understood why the function, but always my main security is like, all right, but if I change this, what it means, what I have to adapt, what is going to be the new piece to be able to create these changes. So something like that is a kind of a massive black hole for knowledge. I have no idea, and which is that means a lot of research, a lot of time to invest, try to understand what is the different option. So I know that path is endless. It's just you can go crazy. You can
Yeah.
go just crazy with options and what is the best option to certain element connected with whatever element you want to connect. So yeah, it's vast, it's overwhelming. So in those days I was a little bit anxious because I don't want to rely too much on you guys. I felt a little bit
Yeah, but you should. Yeah.
yeah, taking advantage. Like, hey guys, tell me what to do.
Nah, it's part of learning.
Yeah.
What is it to have friends if not to learn from them and to be
Yeah.
in their grace of knowledge? That's the key. Yeah.
I'm really grateful for
I
you.
mean,
Also, shout out to Guillermo as well. Thank you, man, so much for this massive help
yeah.
and time wasted on my little
Nah, it's
knowledge.
knowledge.
Yeah,
What's so cool too, you kind of, like I said, the cool thing about this is that you managed to make it in CGI, and get a grasp on the basic concept of it before you actually went out and made it. Oh yeah, here we go. All
there
the
you go.
details. Yeah.
So endless conversation. I was like, hey man, I love,
Yeah.
on my side. Look, I mean, I love
Fuel
this.
pump regulator. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I
Car.
love this. I want that on my car. I want this on my car. Just doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
It's like an external PCV valve, like where it releases cam pressure for the oil. That's what it looks like. Yeah. So cool.
There
Yeah.
you go.
You can check fuel pressure, make sure everything's good. Yeah.
Man,
There's a lot of stuff going on
and
here.
it's still on all this massive turbo on the blanket. It's so massive.
Yeah. Well,
How
the turbo's
tight everything is
huge.
just right
Yeah.
there.
Well, it's all the exhaust air, and you want to keep that exhaust heat away from everything else so you don't get what's called heat soak. You get everything else absorbs that heat, and then heated up air is energized, and then it's less compact. So if you have a high temperatures going back into the engine, you can get these things called pinging or pre-detonating. So like the air will come in there. It's so hot by the time it gets into the chamber with the gas, it'll pre-ignite before the cylinder is completely at where it needs to be in order to push down, and then it'll break the rod, and then the engine, all that pressure gets broken back down into the cam, and all these different issues can happen. So keeping the heat from that chamber is essential. Also, you get a huge reduction in power when your air is that you're using to charge and explode inside the chamber becomes expanded, which is a bummer too. And I don't know nearly as much as most of the people that do these things, of course, but I just understand the basics, which is really fun. I mean, they're really, engines are just big pumps. They're just a big pump. And when you put the turbocharge on there, it's kind of a crazy idea that you would use expelled gases and you would recycle that into a turbine that then spins charged air back into the engine. So it's kind of like this wild thing, because if you've driven a turbo car, which I think your current car is turbo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that car is at 4 cylinders or so, and it's crazy that under load, once it starts to open up, the system starts to work where the exhaust gases are spinning her turbine fast enough to push enough power into those little 4 cylinders. Turbo cars go faster as you increase the load, which is fun because it's just getting more power from going faster, basically, which is really cool. It's a really old, rudimentary, simple concept, but it's really cool. And all these extra cables and CO2 and all these things are just, they're just there to help manage. The ECU is doing all these micro calculations so that the chamber is exactly as you want it to be, to create optimal air fuel mixture and combustion, so that it creates the best power, and the timing is all working well too. So that's what all these little extra pieces are coming off. Little sensors inside those things saying, oh, it's at this temperature, the air is this dense, or it's this basically just getting those things and combining them. So all those sensors kind of come together. But it's so rudimentary too. It looks like it's really complicated, but it's quite simple.
Yeah, to me, it's like a massive black hole of things happening at once, and it's really intimidating. And I wonder, it could be really hard and tricky to manage this kind of engine, to set up well, to making sure you are not losing, air or petrol or any power there. It's functioning in the optimal option, the best way you can drive this car. I guess it's really hard.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about this too is like GM made the LS, and then these guys are basically throwing it all out the book and just using the bare bones of that engine, which is like probably the block, and then everything else has been rebuilt. So it's like a one-of-one version of that car. So no one else, I mean, I'm sure there's people that, obviously many people have done twin turbo LSs, but they're reinventing how this engine's going to work. So yeah, like where you place your turbo, where your charge pipes are, where your intercooler is, all of these things have to be in harmony. And you have to think logistically about how to disperse heat and to make things work as effectively as possible.
Yeah, I remember those conversations, making the mock-up here, just where is the turbo, where is the intercooler, how is it connected. I remember those distribution of the car. It was okay, yeah, well, you tell me where it should be,
Yeah. And yeah, if you just think of it as a diagram, it kind of comes along together. And yeah. The crazy thing about those cars is there's so much stuff going on that like there's not enough room in an engine bay usually. So all the packaging gets really tight, and then you can really appreciate, say, like OEM when like Porsche makes a twin turbo and they put the engine in the wrong area of the car and they have no room and they have to figure out like how to get air into it and air out of it as clean as and fast as possible, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, man. Yeah. This
Yeah.
car is huge and you have plenty of room and still super tight with all these elements put in.
Yeah, but those like just that charge pipe that goes into the plenum, it's like that's like looks like a 5 inch. It's just massive.
Huge, man.
Yeah, chonky. Yeah.
Yeah.
So through this whole process, you had your buddy helping you, and you're understanding it, and you're kind of. I remember when you were doing this, I was like, "Oh crap, oh man, this is so much work."
Yeah, right. In this
Yeah.
stage, I was really, really insecure. Like, what I've been doing, man. This is endless of work. And I thought it could be 1 week, could be even more. I don't know, man. It's gonna be really hard. You know, it's so many things to fix, and I don't know this cable, where it's coming from, where it goes, and you know, I didn't want to bother you guys more than usual. So I was like, oh man, that's endless of work. But hey, you know what? Step by step, stick
That's
to the
right.
process, and just all right, head down and just keep grinding. Just step by step. Don't getting overwhelmed. You know, just one task to another. Let's fix the turbo, and then moving from there to another area, and just connecting everything. So you can tell that massive jump between all this. You know, coming from
Yeah.
the really dodgy what's going on here to everything just clipping and doesn't make any sense to something like I start to make sense and everything connect.
Yeah.
It's a huge work. Yeah.
That's literally how you would do it in real life. It's the same thing. Like I said, GM made the LS, but they did a turbo version for a Corvette, I'm sure, but I don't think they ever did a twin turbo, and then put it in an old car. So when you do it, you have to go like, well, I guess I'm going to invent all of this stuff because I want the turbos to be here and I want this. Okay, well, how are you going to hold the turbo? Well, you have to weld and build a bracket that holds it, and everything has to tie together, and you have to have enough room. You know, and on your header, you have to make sure everything's equal length, so each cylinder is pushing equally, so not one cylinder is pushing less or more, so it doesn't keeps the engine in harmony too. So it's just so many things you have to think about. But what you're doing now is it's the same process. You're just like, okay, well, I got to problem solve, and then you know, how do I get information from this sensor? And okay, well, that's a vacuum line, so you have to have like tube that goes from here all the way to the firewall or wherever the sensor is reading. You know, it's just never ending. Yeah.
It's never ending. This is one of those, like I want to share it with you guys, is just a viewport where it's easy to detect where things go. So it's really easy to detect something wrong is off. You can just, hey, what about that cable? What about this or what about that?
Yeah.
And
Broken into sections.
collecting images from this podcast, I was thinking about exposing myself in the one of those most insecurity part I have, you know, clueless of mechanics, no idea about, despite I love cars, I have no idea, man, how they works.
That's
Even though
okay. Most people are like that.
yeah, but something like that, you know, is not, it could be really easy for me, or pretending, yeah, whatever, or just,
Sure. You don't
but,
learn that way though. Yeah.
but from my side, like, hey, you know what? It's what it is. You know, I have no idea, no knowledge, and also sometimes I have to decide where I want to push and what kind of curiosity I have. Something like you know, been reflecting for a while. Man, if you want to really build a Nova in this pace, you won't. But hey, you know, I don't know why, man. But I still
Well,
think
you could
about.
build a Nova without twin turbo though. You could just build a big block and then keep it super simple, naturally
Yeah.
aspirated, and then you can get a crate engine where you just buy it that's already pre-built, stroked, and made with good components, and then just
For
drop
sure.
it in. You know, that's
Sure.
totally possible, and connect
Yeah.
it to a brain and make sure everything's working. And
Also, I don't think I need 1,000 horsepower.
this setup, like I think that's like probably 12 to 1400
Yeah.
horsepower easily. Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't last very long, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's cool to know and also see. Like I know very little compared to like most people too. And when it comes to this, that you're willing to try and learn new things, like, you know, like that, for example, like when a radiator gets really hot, the molecules of the water and the air get stimulated and it creates more pressure. So when that pressure overflows, you have right there, you have an overflow, and that overflow would go to an external reservoir where excess fluid would be able to escape that rather than creating a pressure and then just exploding the radiator. Yeah. Which is just simple engineering. You're stimulating particles and they're getting overexcited, and then but that's a normal piece of a radiator is an external reservoir. So cool.
Another example of really trying to find the radiator and the reference. It was so important for me because resolution images is really low, so guessing what is what or what is doing what. When I found this reference, like, yes, all right, cool, let's do it. I can do it. So
you found the reference.
Copy literally that here. I was like, all right, I feel way more confident now. I have a legit reference for radiator, Mishimoto. Boom, there you go.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, because it's all the areas and the things that you're looking at. You got the tape going on.
Yeah, really visible. Everything is exposed, so I need to make sure this is really important piece. Has to be legit, you know.
Yeah, and also just already seeing it with the main components is so good. With the the diaper part, you modeled that as well, right?
Yeah, it's also modeling by hand in 3D Max.
And you build like the basic geometry and then add more density and then push and pull. And then just
basically that. Similar as what ZBrush will do by doing in Max. For the sake of simplicity, I don't need.
And also you're familiar.
Yeah.
Just great. Yeah, I mean, look how crazy it's getting.
So here is the the shading part. It was mental, man. I had to shade all this. Oh man.
Your approach to shading is the same as mine, I think, right? Where you just throw one generic material on everything and then start looking at reference. Go, okay, this needs to be aluminum. This needs to be metal. And then this needs to be shiny plastic, and then this needs to be copper or whatever, and then you just kind of go, right? Exactly. And then here's your reference, which is great. Exactly. No, that's your photo. That's the render. Jeez. You're getting to a point where I can't tell now. Yeah,
that's the render. So I just said
the color. Yeah,
I just said it just apply one rubber material because basically 90% is rubber. So from there I could just apply new materials, aluminum or plastic or fabric or anything. Could be that.
So good. Yeah.
So I can just apply.
It's just crazy.
And here it was one of those where I was really keen to jump on. It was the wrapping. I don't know what's it called. This kind of to keep the temperature
exhaust wrap.
Yeah, exhaust wrap.
Keep the heat in. Yeah.
So I was really keen to do that, and I kept it really close, fairly realistic. It's not
really good.
It's not perfect, but you can get away with this kind of display.
Insane, dude.
Yeah.
So this is based on a shader that you developed with displacement, right?
This is a mix of a normal map for this kind of a
subtle.
Yeah, an isotropic view of displacement, kind of a weird effect, kind of similar as a carbon fiber. It dissected the light in different direction. It's really cool.
Because it shifts its angle based on, or shifts its refractive quality based on the angle of observation.
Yeah. Using that, also using displacement for that kind of feeling of fabric. And one of the reference, this one is not really high detail, but I felt like, it's just kind of a fabric. It's just opening up a little bit. So that was a really cool reference. So I'm like, all right, cool, I can do that. Not this one. It feels too clean. It will feel CGI-ish, but if I break it up enough, it starts to feel realistic, kind of used.
Did you generate that texture using I don't even know, I guess Photoshop and make a texture and then duplicate it and make a pattern out of it and then go and modify it from there? How did you make your original texture? Like that material, like that bump? Did you use like a carbon fiber?
Yeah, I used the carbon fiber normal map.
Yeah, okay.
From there, I'm making a mask in really specific area, which is here on the edges. It is where I apply displacement with different texture, something more like a fabric open or noise. I remember well, but so you can tell. Yeah.
So on those, so you have the geometry and then you selected those regions, made a selection, applied the other material, which is got more displacement and we're using more noise to kind of break it up. And that combined with the geometry that's on the other one that's cleaner, you have those ragged edges. Is that how you're doing it?
No, but that could be a good option to do it. My solution was, because that is basically a wrap, I can use a gradient to make it right on the
There you
edge.
go.
It could be
Yeah.
a different color, which it could be white. I using that mask for displacement, and that's it.
Okay. Nice. Like an AO mask.
Yeah,
Then.
exactly.
Smart. This is so. The reason why I'm getting into detail, because I know everybody asks these kind of things, and I'm curious too. But this is also how we problem solve everything. See how I picked a different route? I would have just went that way because that's familiar to me. But this is your route. You're much more familiar with like within the shader to create AO using masking and stuff, and because you understand, you can unwrap the node in your mind and how you work with it. So it's cool. Yeah, and also like the hoses, like all the micro bumps and then the braided lines. I mean, you're really getting insane at this point. It's truly getting nuts. Like you even have the teal like stamped on there. You got the little, you have the freaking tag for the diaper on there too, which is an external piece of geometry that you modeled, and then you made a cloth material, and then you grabbed the decal, and then you made a decal texture on there. It's just like, so at this point, because you're already invested, so you're going further down the road, and you know that if you don't go that far, if you just do it kind of flat, it'll look good, but now you're like fully invested and you're not going backwards. But you make this one material, you can replicate it, right? But you have like 5 custom, maybe 6 custom materials here. Like you have that aluminum, which is a custom, very complicated material using AO, and then you have a shiny metal on the clamps, the stuff that are holding it. Then you have your diaper, then you have your custom like kind of plasticky thing where the intake is taking on. That's that round like, and then yeah, you have your AN lines with the braided lines, and you have your normal hoses. So, but those things can be replicated. You can take those 5 textures, add it to all of those hundreds of components, and then you have like what you did at the end. It was like you have this crazy, epic, beautiful thing.
Yeah, but
it's really inspiring.
The only problem, as you know, this is about if I use a ambient occlusion, you cannot apply the same material for others because have a different
different size.
proximity. So it become a little bit problematic. So when I'm using, for example, this kind of a metal aluminum with AO, it has to be just for this specific pieces. I have a bunch of them around the car, so kind of all right, it's worth to invest time to this kind of particular shader. And the same with the turbo as well. It has to be really specific metal, but only is useful for the turbo because the sake of geometry and proximity they have that material in other, it doesn't work. So it has to be another shader. So I ended up using
hundreds,
many shaders, like I'm trying to make it work. And this could be the finished engine. It's
just epic, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many things going on here. Like, oh god, you even have the VIN number on the firewall too, which is like the VIN plate, which is like, fuck, dude. That's insane. And like all the little clamps and different clamps and like the coils, and oh my god, it's just really awesome. And the crazy thing is, you could go further than this. You could go even further. It's just like, it gets so insane. But it truly, I remember when you were doing this, and then I was showing somebody, I was like, hey, check this out. And they're like, oh, wow, that's cool.
That was
like, that's CGI or something. Somebody was like, no way.
That was in Tema show, could be?
I think so. Something like that.
We talked about CGI with one of the guys, and yeah.
You're showing him the build that you were doing. It's just like, dude, what in the hell?
I wanted to show this because this also we do as well recently quite a lot, is swapping different HRI to make sure we have the right shaders. And something I was really keen to do that here as well, because when you get used to it with one HRI, if you swap the lighting, that material wouldn't be as accurate as you thought it could be.
Yeah.
So it's really healthy and really useful to swap in different lighting conditions to see how material breathe. And I've been doing this in this engine, particularly because the main material here, this one,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That one.
wasn't really, I was like, I'm not
It's
hitting the mark.
darker.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
darker or it's brighter. I don't like when it's too shiny. I want to make it dark. So
Yeah.
it making me a tons of problem. This small material. I don't know why.
Mm.
I couldn't make it right, man.
Yeah. Testing your shaders in different HRIs is essential if you're
Yeah,
trying to get a universal look of
yeah,
reality. But also, to be fair, material shifts and changes based on lighting anyway. So it's kind of mimicking what reality does.
yeah,
But in your mind, you have a different idea, of what things are, which is, always the trick, which is, yeah, such a pain in the butt.
yeah. It
You
is.
ended up remodeling to um, the the center part of the engine too, right? Because I think that was like old geometry. That one,
Yeah,
yeah, right there, like the plenum, I guess they would call that, or the intake
yeah,
manifold area.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was
like the
the
normals are broken on that engine asset, I think, if I
yeah. I
recall.
ended up remodeling this from scratch again because that was
Yeah.
from a video game model as
Hmm.
a mocap. So I kept it there until all right. I need to do it.
Until you had to,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because it's kind of a complicated piece too.
It is.
But
It is.
your poly modeling has gotten so strong too. So,
Yeah, I had to do it again. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Wow. Here we go. Secondary. So the engine is done. You've gone. So what is that, like a month for the engine?
No, no, no. The engine was
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah,
Okay.
two
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
That's really impressive still. It's crazy. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
the
God.
majority of the time end up one is reference and two was the design of the engine.
Getting
What
the
is the
pipes in
position?
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of back and forth and try to make it right, even though I have no idea.
Key takeaways for this, I would say, is patience, having advice from people that know more than you, using references as much as possible, and then blocking it out, and then working from big, medium, and small. I think that's really the essential. And that's why I think it was so successful. And I would say that's a mark of a master craftsman like yourself, to be able to have the patience, also understand, be humbled by the idea that you need to reach out and use your network of knowledge through your friends to make the best experience possible for yourself, so that you can mitigate your lack of knowledge with new knowledge through your friends, which is really great. And so there's so much to learn from there. I'm hoping if you're listening to this and you're looking at this going, oh, what the heck? It's like Carlos had to go through all of these steps that most people are not willing to, whether it's their ego or they don't have a friend group that can give them that, or they don't have the patience or whatever. It's like, even at that level, you're still going to have to go through that much pressure in order to get to the result, which is really cool. It's really inspiring.
Today I was listening to a podcast and one of the guys talking said about motivation. It could be one of those key element, motivation. I remember those days when I was having so many doubts of what I even doing here. I'm doing this engine. Doesn't make any sense. And those days, that's the tricky part, where your motivation is down. You don't believe in what you're doing. That is the most tricky part. And
Yeah.
the only thing that you can take away from here is just trusting the process
Yeah.
because I did it before. So it's a different scale. That's it. But it's the same. It's the same thing. I'm no idea what I'm doing exactly. I don't have the confidence. But if I keep pushing, I can learn about this and apply it again and again. It's just different scale. And again, I have lucky because I have you guys. So I was like, all right, at least I have this guy that can support me. But my 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 insecurity is coming from that part. I don't want to just drag you down to my side or taking your time to help me out to do something really stupid, which is creating a CGI engine, you know.
What's
But
weird too about that is that you're constantly doing that for everybody else. So it's nice that you should be able to rely on your friends and your social network to be able to help you as well, And I know it's an honor for myself, and I'm sure for your friend Guillermo as well, to be able to help you and give you any kind of help, because the amount of help that you give to us is obviously, it's tons. It's crazy amounts, You've always been so kind with sharing your time, knowledge, and abilities everybody. I mean, you're doing it now, which is great.
I guess
You're a great person is what I'm saying. And
thank you,
the
man.
world's better because you exist.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
It's
I
true.
guess I guess when it's coming from my point of view, myself, what I'm trying to achieve here, it feels a little bit shallow. What is that color you're doing? An engine CGI? Why? Doesn't make any sense. So I feel like a little bit obnoxious doing this, right? Just
Interesting.
they feel weird. But when someone else, if I can able to help someone else with something, I feel useful. I feel like it has a purpose, something
Sure.
beyond me. It makes sense, and that's why I'm happy to help,
Mm.
because I don't know. I feel like it's the right thing to do.
Mm.
But when I ask him for help, just it's hard, man. It's
Mm.
tricky. Could be from so many
Pride?
different reasons. You know,
Mm. Mm.
ego or insecurities or something like that. Could be that.
Sure.
But mainly for me is because that I feel like what I've been doing doesn't make any sense.
Well, I don't know why it wouldn't make any sense. This is like the final frontier for you. Like you love cars, you love engines, you love all this stuff, and it's like, why wouldn't you make this? Because I don't. You've always gone really far with certain things. In some parts of cars, you've gone further than this and this, but this is, I would say, like the top of the top altogether. You went really crazy, and it's cool. Like I think it's really something to be acknowledged. The fact that you went this far in this and why you did, and it makes complete sense to me, but I'm an outside observer, and I
Yeah,
also full support. And I would say, I mean, I can't recall when I was doing the GT40, but I'm pretty sure I was going pretty intense with the engine and everything too. So I think we were going in tandem and pushing each other as we normally do. And that's what makes Haste what it is. It's just you and me pushing super hard and then combining that effort with our friends and then expanding that.
yeah,
Just fun.
yeah. Also, we do this with everything else. I guess we go.
Mm.
We love to go in details and
Yeah.
discovering and be curious about what if, right? If we doing this
Yes.
something crazy.
Yeah. It's something to be proud of. Don't you feel pride when you're looking at this? Some sense of
Uh,
pride? I mean, there's insecurities attached to it, of course, but like when you look at this and then imagine like what you managed to do, is there a sense of pride attached to it?
mm, no, no. I
That's
would
honest.
say no, no, no. I don't feel
Hmm.
proud.
Hmm.
What I feel like, I feel proud. I tried.
Hmm.
That's for sure. The result, meh. But the fact I try,
Hmm.
that's something like I feel proud of it.
Okay.
Right? At least I didn't give up. I
Yeah.
commit and I finish it. It could be better. I can see so many flaws. It could be here and there, blah blah. But at the end of the day, I think I feel proud because they finish.
Hmm. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Finishing
but
is the
of
key.
course, if I do something so crazy in the engine, the exterior has to be the same level of detail. So I
That's
went
right.
really far too, from for the
Yeah.
taillights, just going and modeling every single thing, just going hard to make the effect accurate.
Yeah. With transparent materials too, you can see here, this is another thing that I think is attributed to CGI, is that you added the depth of it rather than using displacement. You actually made the type and everything, and the geometry, because it's transparent. If you try to use displacement, we've noticed that too. It can kind of break or have an issue with using displacement only. So you kind of have to use a physical element, right? So that it actually works well, or mimics reality.
Hmm. The displacement is tricky because require one, obviously, unwrapping. You
Hmm.
have one side and the other.
Yeah.
And the second issue, I know you have this problem too. When we are using Corona, if you are RPRing, you need to make sure you are IPRing in the same camera and not move the camera. If you move the
Yeah.
camera, the
Oh,
displacement doesn't work as well.
you have to
So
reset it.
become a kind of an annoying process of trying to figure out what is
Mhm.
the final effect of the refraction using
Yeah.
displacement, and it's nuts. Like, oh man. So I rather just go and doing geometry, and the
Yeah.
geometry is really easy to do. It's just you have to just making a pattern in CGI. Also, for this kind of a taillight, fairly easy.
Mm.
Seems quite a lot of work, but it's not really. Just duplicating the exactly same pattern, making
Mm.
sure it's the right bevel, and all that. Just easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've taken a complicated thing and broke it down into small pieces, and that's really cool. I would say that reason why I brought that up in regards to CGI stuff and trying to point that out for people that might see it. I think what's interesting that's happening to me in my mind is that with the onset of all of this AI stuff, so much of what we do is just gets lost. And for a long time there, I was like, it's just CGI stuff. And now I'm like, actually, no, we should start talking about the fact that there is a craft and a method attached to getting the results at this level. And one of them is understanding how all of this stuff works in tandem together, and then the method of approach. So you're like, okay, let me get some reference of the light. Then I need to model it in geometry. Then I need to create all these things, and then I have to separate them and build them out and then put them together. And it's like, it's an attachment to an approach that you have to do. And if you don't have that, then you're just kind of, then you won't have a result. I know this firsthand because I've tried to do lights before, and they look absolutely ass. And it's because I was lazy and I didn't do it this way. And this is literally the only way you have to do it. I think, didn't Alexi do some crazy lights for us like multiple times?
Yeah.
He did, right?
He did it for the
Paradigm?
190. Yeah, Paradigm. And
Yeah.
he did it also for...
What
another
else? He
car?
did another light that was crazy. I think he did another light for us for the Celica.
Celica, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he went full on. I was like, damn, dude. Yeah. Shout out to Alexi, little
Yeah.
beast. Yeah.
Such a beast, man. Mother. But
This is
it's
so
true, man.
cool.
It's true. It's something like it's happening. The AI thing is a whole topic. We can go crazy talking about it.
Yeah.
But it's true that it's something like today, reflecting what we did here with the Nova and the GT40.
What you did. Yeah.
And I feel proud that we finished and we went crazy. And it's something like I have good memories doing it, going wild. And I love that.
I don't think you would have that feeling if you just typed in a prompt and then had like generated images like fall in your lap.
No.
The journey of this is what makes it really interesting. This is something we've been talking about a lot, and everybody's talking about it, but I'm not going to go into it. But it's definitely a part of the process, and it's a shame to get lost. So that's why I'm like, I love that we're doing this. It's time capsuling it. I also love that we're capturing moments as you go through it, because just the floating car there with everything kind of figure it out. It's like, dude, so cool. What a cool moment.
Exciting. I remember those days, like, wow, I have so many pieces now. I can play with it in so many ways, and it's fun. This one, it starts to be really fun. On the engine part, I was suffering.
Yeah.
But in this moment, I was like, really having fun. And yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Daughters, dude? Yeah.
Of course, man. Non-stop.
I knew you would love that album. Okay. Yeah,
Non-stop.
so this is so cool. And then obviously too, we love this stage where you can see it in the studio and you can get a sense of it. Things are coming together. The wheel stance are decided, the design, all the extra tertiary little small details, like having the exhaust come out the side and like these extra little things, and like all the components, all the recipe, the ingredients are all there. At this point, you're like, yes, okay, now it's just refining. So you went big, medium, and now you're in the small detail phase, right?
Yeah, there's a small detail where I want to now push on the body. I want that feeling of raw and rusty. And I start to use procedurals, but I realize it's not good enough. So I went crazy again, developing a little bit my own system in Success Painter using mask. And for maybe in so many episodes that I talk about this process, but basically, long story short, what I do is just creating different masks for different output. For here, you can tell I'm talking about the dust, the tone of the color of the car, the opacity because I'm making some brake part, the rusty, the gloss, what kind of a glossy effect I want, another dust problem, dust body, and the brown, kind of a brownish colors here. So every single layer, this one is the gloss. So I wanted to do something like that, really specific pattern of the gloss of the car because it's a massive car.
Yeah, a lot of flat planes.
Yeah, you cannot use the same triplanar in all the car because start to see the pattern. Unless you're using 16K resolution pattern for gloss, start to feel a little bit odd. Some areas like that pattern doesn't make any sense for that panel for the body. So I ended up this doing my own gloss
Did you have
pass.
UDIMs on this, or is it just one big texture?
These are UDIMs
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah.
I think I ended up with 15 UDIMs. This
Wow.
one,
Okay. Fenders,
huge,
doors, rear quarter, trunk,
huge,
hood, roof. Yeah, all the
yeah,
things.
huge.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
using this just so it makes sense to my I kind of understand a bit, like you're dissecting the elements of the exterior of the car into dust, tone, opacity, and specular. When you bring it all of this information back into Cinema 4D, you're going to be like, okay, now I'm making a dirt shader, and that dirt shader is going to be seen by this mask. And then underneath that, there's going to be the base shader, and then these are layering,
Hmm.
correct? And you have
Yeah.
this master material that all connects. This is getting to the point where it's like there's so much going on. How do you manage to keep track of all of these little details? Or you just kind of go one step at a time and kind of chip away at it?
One step at a time.
Yeah,
I don't get overwhelmed about this because I did it before. I know how that works,
sure.
and it doesn't get too crazy. If you think about it, you have almost 7 different drivers, 7 different texture who drive different effects. So
Yeah.
easy to track for me. It's easy and clean. Only
Mm,
one sequence UDIMs
mm,
drive the rusty. One sequence UDIMs
mm.
drive the gloss. Once again and again and again. So
Sure.
it's kind of a easy process, but the most painful process is UDIMs, unwrapping, and organizing.
Yeah, I would say that makes sense. Yeah, because you've gotten good at unwrapping too. And what's that app again that you use?
Um, Rhizome or Rhizome.
Rhizome. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rhizome. Yeah. And the geometry, did you remodel this from the Hum model, or some of it you did and some of it you kept?
It's a mix.
A blend.
The body you see here is just basically Hum 3D model.
Gotcha. And they
Yeah,
had enough. It was clean enough to be able to get the
yeah,
edge
yeah.
loop and
It
they
was
cut the seams and stuff.
actually. I think I request them to use the low poly version. The
Oh,
low,
nice.
so I have so many rooms to play around. So it was beautiful.
Gotcha. So you got the low quality or the low poly version, and then used that, unzipped all of that using Rhizome, and then brought it back in. Then you took the geometry, subdivided it again, so it had that power. But
Hmm.
then you had the low poly stitching, so it was clean and easier to get the stitch out.
Yeah.
UDIMs are crazy because I don't know, it doesn't work in Cinema 4D and doesn't, it crashes or something. There's a
I
lot of
think
issues.
the problem we have is when if I have on my own setup my shader with UDIMs,
Mm,
if you open in your side the
it
file,
breaks.
it's gonna request where is the texture, right? You link again using the file path, whatever,
Yeah.
but it doesn't call the UDIMs. It
Mm,
doesn't call. It's just using only one tile. Instead
yeah.
doing the whole sequence, which is remember it was a massive pain in the ass.
Big nightmare. Yeah. So it basically, hopefully, if the engineers at Corona are listening, this is a huge problem that if you're passing files back and forth, the UDIM
It doesn't.
chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a problem we've had with Cinema 4D the entire time too. Is like the ability. There's two things that I think Max absolutely slaps it at: is managing heavy dense geometry, which has always been better, and then the other thing is file asset attributes and connecting. It always seems to be the biggest break, which it just drives me nuts. Yeah, yeah. It's cool to see the opacity working and everything too, because you knew you were gonna do rust and stuff too. So like those
Yeah.
little pieces, it's like, yeah, dude,
Yeah. I knew
crazy.
it. It could happen. I need that opacity.
Yeah. So you have specular, you have the dust, you have the rust, you have different dust, more dense dust, and then you
Yeah.
have
I have the brown and the diffuser. It has kind of the paint. It gets a little bit
mm,
different tones, and I also have the kind of the exhaust, black
that's
thing
right.
here. I
Yeah.
mean, so many layers.
So many. Yeah. It's just crazy. Yeah. It's so
And
much stuff.
I wanted to share this because this is a really important process. Because until
Mm,
then, I didn't play that much about how the car breathe in different HRI completely. But
mm,
this was the first time it was super satisfying to see
mm.
the car breathing in different HRI
What do you
and
mean by
always
breathing? Like coming
breathing.
to life?
Yeah, yeah. It's like the car just coming together and feels realistic enough, swapping different HRI, from something like overcast to see
Yeah.
how it behave, and then super contrasty
Direct sunlight.
HRI. Yeah,
With balance and everything.
exactly. To see
Yeah.
the direct lighting on the shade, how it behave, and it was
Crazy.
really cool to see that. Also, the
Yeah, that
small
subtle bump.
displacement. Yeah,
Oh, you're using displacement then. Yeah. Just a
yeah,
subtle amount on there. Yeah,
yeah.
your master shader node must be just
Crazy.
absolutely nightmare. Yeah. I've seen some of your shader nodes. I'm like, I'm not even, I can't even, I can't go into your brain and think like that. It's just like, it's insane. Like hundreds of nodes connecting to other nodes.
Also,
Only you would understand that because you've built it that way.
15 UDIMs of each layer. So
Wow.
this got to become a nightmare to just open, just
Yeah.
loading texture. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Would you open this file now and play with it?
No.
Okay. That's another
No.
thing I want to bring up is because you do that a lot. You'll make a file that's so crazy. Like when you did all the Evanetta stuff, and you're like, I'll never open that stuff again. I'm like, damn. So it's just done and that's it, and it'll never be used again. That's crazy.
No, man. No. No.
That's a real
I,
shame about CGI. I think that's a huge problem with CGI because it gets outdated so quickly, and everything breaks so quickly that like a project, if you don't open it within a 12-month span, it basically becomes useless, which is, if you think about the time that you invested, it's a real waste,
It is. It is. Completely. Because you will see how many renders I ended up. Not many.
Yeah.
Considering the amount of work, just
Oh,
all right.
final renders? Yeah.
Yeah, just not many.
Yeah. But you have all the journey, which is really cool too.
Yeah, that's my takeaway. Literally. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Of
you got the
course.
Mickey Thompsons too. You got to build the
Yeah.
big boys, chunky boys.
Yeah.
Drag
Beautiful
radials.
reference.
Yeah.
It was pretty much a must. I have to do it.
Yeah. These are
Did
great.
Did you hammer with this one?
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember.
Did you?
No, I
did you-
think this was all you. Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I remember you did the decals or the actual graphics, or it was just me.
I don't know. We've done so many. Maybe I don't know, but probably just you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, guys, another episode, me doing tires.
yeah. But everybody, I think that follows along with what we're doing knows that this is like the eye of the project. It's like the soul of the car. But what's crazy too is though that you went so far into the rest of the car that like the tire didn't take the main thing this time. Whereas like with other builds, it's like the tire was the thing, but this one is like, holy crap, you did the amount that you would do on a tire with the engine bay and like the under part of the car and like all of these things, which is cool.
Yeah, the tire
it still looks
now
great,
like
but-
a minor thing. Oh, yeah, the tire. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I love on the drag radials, they have these little elongated triangles. So cool. The engineers that do this stuff, it's like so cool. I wonder like how they figure out like, oh, we need this long of a triangle that cuts out, that runs in, odd pattern or something. It's like, how do they figure that out?
No idea, man.
Years of going fast, I guess. We need to go faster. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, there it is. I mean, that looks like a photo.
Yeah, I remember those.
Oh yeah,
those
the
days.
environment too.
Yeah, we were searching for environment. So many research and reference. What could be the reference? A new environment for us. Yeah, let's go. What about just a simple wall
Yeah,
and the
let
asphalt?
the car speak.
Yeah, I remember those days I was playing with you back and forth, trying to calibrate this scenario, this scene with different HRI, and that's why we have different colors, tones, which is really interesting to see. Again, calibrating texture and shaders based on HRI.
That's the wall we used in another one, I think, too. Right, the brick wall,
Hmm.
and that was used again, and all those
Yeah.
little bushes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting so confused. I was like, "Oh, the Mustang's real." Wait, no, it's CGI. I'm like, no, that's a real car. But a great reference, like hits of color and like all of the weeds that are sitting back there, and like, the size and scale of things. Like, it gets so fun, and the decals on the ground, the actual little dirt and like the little stuff.
Yeah, man.
particles. It's just like, yeah, dude. This is when it gets crazy because it's like not only the car, but like it becomes the environment and everything else, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool.
It is fun, man. It is fun. So finally, we have final
Yeah.
renders and everything done. Having
How
some
did you
fun.
decide on the yellow accent? Because I thought that was really beautiful, and it was a kind of a unique thing to these renders that I don't think you had done prior.
Man,
Were you,
you know what? No idea why I pick up the yellow.
were you on Lotus at that time?
Could be that. Could be that because
Yeah.
I was working in Lotus.
Like, oh, yellow. Kopa! I think you were on Lotus at that time
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
subconscious. Well,
Subconscious
sometimes I
yellow.
think you go so far and so fast, and you don't like, you go so deep, and you don't come up for air, and you're just constantly working. You probably just connect things like the Ken Block livery on the
Yeah.
Porsche. You were asking me, "Does this look familiar?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's Ken Block style." You're like, "Oh yeah, shit," which happens to the best of us. We get kind of lost in things.
It's true, man. I mean, yellow is so universal, but it's true. I was working Lotus back
That's
then,
a unique yellow. Yeah.
so yeah, it was basically.
Let's talk about that render actually, which I think is really great. To me, what makes that feel real, and I know that you know this trick as well, is like creating light that is hidden by the sun in layers. So the back of the thing is getting hit with the most light, but then you're cutting the frame in half, and then you have this beautiful gradient that feels very natural, which the element is, if you put the element behind the camera too close, it would feel like, fake, because the scale of the gradient between the object that's projected with the shadow would be harsher, straight line. Your scale here is perfect. It feels real. And at this point, I'm almost guaranteeing you don't have an exact reference to this and copying it one to one. You're inventing it as you go, right?
Yeah, yeah. Really clever, man. That's true. That's what I do. Basically, what I do is just in my scene, I creating a fake building behind of the camera, and put in the sun, and then put the building. Could be 2 floor, 3 floor. I'm pretending it's a building behind me, and then the sun is just hitting, and the building is creating the shadow. As you mentioned, is key to build a realistic render where pretending like the surround is real also. So the
So
tricky part
cool.
is like you don't want to go too far creating full 360 environment. You
Yeah.
have to just
Like
pick
the
the
race
right.
service.
Yeah, exactly. So you just have to pick the right element to make it feel real, but without going too crazy. And now creating a 360 environment, you don't have to. Just maybe an asset. It's kind of a hangar or building, putting the back on the camera. That's it. It's gonna create realistic shadows.
Yeah, so cool. It really helps a lot, because if you just went with a full blasted shot with no contrast, what makes this work really well is a high level of contrast. If you squint your eyes, like, you have all of the scales. You have almost all the way to full white, and then you have all full dark, but you have it in this beautiful split composition. It's just beautiful. It's really well done. It's just really like, it's an image that invites you and just makes you stay and look at it.
Thanks,
That's
man.
always the compliment. The more I look at an image, the more of a compliment I can give it. Which is like, dude, this is great. Outside of the technical aspects, it's like, is this aesthetic? Does it feel inviting? Does it inspire me? It's like a photograph, It's like,
Thanks, man.
why do you look at it? It's really cool. And I think that this is something that has come to you quickly over years of doing this and making aesthetic images. It's something not to be lost. There's so many layers to this process to get to this end part, as we're exposing in this whole journey that you've had here. But yeah,
Thanks, man.
wild.
Yeah, I guess it's the same procedural, the same workflow I do when I'm scrolling Instagram or Pinterest, searching for that specific thing. I'm linked to it. I don't know what it is, but I need to search it. I'm just, looking for that thing. If I found it, I'm really squeezing like a lemon. Just, what is that? What I like this? I don't know, but I love the color grading, the composition, the lighting, the materials, and I need to dissect why I like it. So when
Yeah.
I do my own work, I try to find that thing happen. It could be mainly because happy accident. Here I'm moving the camera really fast, and the lighting as well, everything at once. Bah, 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 bah. Then what is that? What is that? Then something click, boom, I got it. That's when I feel like it's happening fairly quick. Otherwise, I'm going a little bit slow, searching for composition, framing, and grinding the lighting based on the framing. That could be the second process where I don't really enjoy that much. What I really enjoy was everything just happened really quickly and fast. But that's kind of complicated, and it's not easy to find that rhythm. You know, I think pretty sure it happened to you as well. When you have a certain asset that you are working fast, you're working fast because also you like what you're seeing, so you feel motivated, right?
Yeah, you're looking at your future dream car and you're like, this is like what I would want it to look like, and wherever I would shoot it, this is how I would do it. And I mean, why on earth would you ever do anything other than that? Why would you spend all your time doing a car that you don't care about? Well, outside of money, which we do, and we work on things that we don't really care about, but you still have to put the power into it. But when you're doing it like this, it all comes naturally. I mean, there's so many beautiful options and things that come along, and just like, geez, it's so cool. And yeah, it's just wild. So good.
So much fun, man, with these.
So much fun. Long lens, wide lens, close, tight, low, high, everything. When you have a 360, I mean, just that shot right there, that looks real, dude. Again, compositionally, if you think about it, like, you just showed just enough of the wheel to see a little bit more detail, but everything is kind of falling off. And the shallow depth of focus isn't so shallow. It feels super soft. It just feels natural. Again, you have that gradient cutting too. It's like, you made the hot spot, the tire, which is center frame. And compositionally, it's creating this X into the center. You have that like tire piece. It's just, squint your eyes and look at these things. It's cool. And I'm assuming that you're doing this subconsciously. You're walking around at CGI. Oh, bam, bam.
There you go.
Know?
Same thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't take me much on this asset. It was fairly easy to play around. It was super light, the scene. The car was running well, so I was really just swapping lighting and changing really quickly, and really grabbing a snapshot. You know, in this kind of a small site, something like that. That could be the IPR resolution. So I go like this. All right, that's a good shot, and then keep moving on.
Move. Yeah. Options and options. I mean, you did do a lot of renders comparison. Like when we first started doing Haste together, like you were doing like 6 or something. You're like, yeah, I'm happy. And then now it's like you're in 50 range now.
Yeah.
When we did the Porsche, we did like 200 or something. Yeah.
Man, we did 3 hours of podcast.
Yeah, that was a long one. If you're interested in knowing our in-depth process together, go and watch that episode. It's the 997 GT2 RXX GT2. Yeah. But yeah, this is cool. Also, your grading too. I know we talk about that too. The importance, like you've lifted the blacks. It feels somewhat vintage. It feels like an old like Porsche 400 film stock of some sort, or like a Kodak Gold or something. Yeah, just feels good. Lifted blacks, vintage look. Yeah, super good. All those extra details.
Yeah, I was really keen to do overcast and not really direct lighting and see how the shading behave. And I get a nice surprise. It was working really well. All the small details, how everything, even the displacement, it started to work really well.
It's crazy.
The wind as well, you know, the kind of a bending on the nuts. It was working really well.
Yeah, the what do they call that? Lexan. That's like racing plexiglass kind of thing.
Plexiglass, yeah.
Yeah, so cool. Ugh.
Also, finally, the without bumper and see the chassis over there was really cool to see that. Finally,
all of the details. I love the reflected. So again, as you just remove yourself from looking at it as a car and you squint your eyes, you go like, it looks like the engine is like has hair. It's like exploding out a little bit too, you know, which is cool. It creates a compositional interest. It's like, what is that? Your brain gets intrigued. You look further, you understand what it is, and then you create this like feedback loop with the image. Great images are like that for the viewer. I think great images are made from artists are about creating an interaction and communication with the viewer. Like if you look at, say, Rothko's work or Jackson Pollock's work or something, like there is an interaction that happens unique to the viewer, whether you're willing to take that journey or not. I'm not comparing this to that, but there's an act of communication that happens with great image making, I think. And yeah, it's just fun. It's cool to see the ingredients. Also, I didn't make these, so it's cool to see them, you know.
I didn't think about the look of this hair on the engine.
I'm sure when you saw it, you were like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Because you're just moving the tree around at that point, right? Lock the camera, move the tree, boom.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking for some kind of reflection to build the kind of feeling of something is there out there.
Yeah, because imagine how boring that would be if it was just there was no tree there.
The same here. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, all of the things. Like these are things that you're thinking about and adding to it. This is where I think like where I fall short and you go further is that you go deeper into these things, and it's like, yeah.
Here as well.
There was a render I think on the GT40 that hit me so hard. It was probably still one of my favorite renders, and it was because not by intention, but there was a happy accident that happened that was doing the same thing that you're doing. I was like, finally the image feels lived in. It feels like real. It really, really feels real now. It's like, okay, what is it? And then like you said, you're trying to extract what is this thing that, so you can synthesize it again. And sometimes it's like, art is such a weird experience because it has to be a lived experience individually. You cannot do it through abstract theory of reading a book or watching somebody. You have to do it. But by doing it, it's so hard to maintain objectivity as to know why you're doing it. And it's just it's something that chews up my mind all the time, as you know. It's just so cool. But anyways, I don't mean to go on tangents here, but
no, man, you got it. You're describing perfectly the daily basis of our process. It's just we are trying to understand and grasp is what is the thing, right? And even in daily basis work and working currently with one of the brands and doing some CG work, I'm still like man, this doesn't click. What is that thing? And I thought I got it, but I don't. Damn it. So yeah, tricky, really hard.
It's tricky. Yeah, synthesizing it, replicating it, and then when you replicate it, you go, okay, well I already did this, and now you're bored of it. You need to do another thing. And it's like, oh, dude. And then you know what? There's so many things I love about that. I want to talk about why I love Corona, and I think how Corona is just my preferred render. It's not even the car; it's the shadow detail off the front bumper, the multiple lights, and the fall off of gradient. It's just, come on, dude! Like just that alone.
Look at that.
It's the best, dude. That is so incredible. The yellow, the warms, the cools, the greens, the blues, all of the dispersion of like refractive light. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, it's really cool. And nothing on post. It's just basically everything from camera. Yeah.
It's so
the only thing I have here is just color grading, and that's it. But everything here is happening. It's just beautiful. All the connection makes sense,
It's so good. And I know you have multiple lights here, spotlights and like little hits. You have that one up top hitting the Haste logo on the front, and then you have stuff on the engine up on the upper right, and like I can see where they're coming from, but it's just so cool. And the way that just the shadow on the ground, it's just like, dude, come on, man. It looks like a painting, like illustrative, very beautiful. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Love it.
Corona, man.
Oof, man. Yeah, this is so good. God. It's cool is I think you did studio after exterior, right? Or did you do studio first and then exterior outside?
I think I finished the car in the studio. I started
started with studio. Okay. Yeah, geez. Look at that. And then you had that rear wing on there. It's just like, dude, come on, man.
Dragster mode, 100%.
So cool.
Pure machine.
I love it. It's just beautiful. Yeah,
I can see that.
The silhouette's so good too. Like when you squint your eyes too. Constantly squinting my eyes. Why I have so many wrinkles on my bald head. Like just trying to squint.
That's your process. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you squint when you work?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm constantly squinting.
Or go far away. And then I invert my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I flip the image. Yeah. So many
things. It would be
so
cool if inside the IPR you could just have a flip button. That'd be cool to be able to quickly because you have to go to Photoshop and do that way, and it's just like 3 extra steps. It messes up
Oh,
how fast you can do it.
I do it in PureRef, but I
Oh yeah.
wonder, yeah, in
Oh yeah,
PureRef
like
is
a
really easy.
hotkey. Oh yeah, it does flip horizontal. That's true.
I
I'll do that
wonder,
then.
I wonder if they have already in Corona and V-Ray, they have that thing. I
Oh,
believe
that's
so.
great. Yeah,
I think so. For sure V-Ray. I'm not sure Corona.
yeah. Damn, that's so cool. So good. Look at that ground too. So good. Just nice and
Yeah.
juicy, sticky. Yeah, it's perfect.
Man, you know what? This
There we
this is
go.
the end. This is the end. But I was wondering, maybe on the next episode you can show the video because I didn't want to spoil anything.
Oh,
I
you should
think
show
it's
it.
no.
Yeah.
I think I rather just saying for the next episode it's gonna be
Cliffhanger.
you. Yeah, a little bit because I think that video is special
It
and
is
it's really
cool.
special for both of us. It's something like something happens there, some magic happens.
Yeah.
Something like I could say even similar as Evineta, something happens, something magical.
Anthony's
And
score,
this,
my God.
yeah,
What the
just
heck, dude?
Anthony
Such a
here,
genius.
fucking hell.
The
And
piano. Dun, dun, dun,
this
dun.
image is part of that teaser.
That's right.
And yeah,
That was so fun. I think, if I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, we had gone so far and did so much that by the time we came to the end, I was like, I think we need video for it. But like, I don't have any more gas in the tank to do like a whole Evanetta kind of crazy thing. And so we kind of devised a tricky way, which is fun. I guess we can reveal that in the next episode, which is really fun. And then it just gets wilder and wilder, which is so fun.
yeah, yeah. You can talk about that process, but I think to me it was on my
Forgot
side
about this.
it was magical on my side.
Yeah. Well, I forgot about that. I forgot that we did that because there was just so much stuff in that process. I'm trying to look back at it. Yeah, that was a crazy journey. Oh man, I'm excited to do the next one. This is going to be fun.
Yeah,
There's a lot of cringy moments to share in this one. Oof.
as
There's a
usual.
lot
Yeah.
of garbage, but there's some really cool stuff in here too, which is really fun. Yeah, that was cool. It was like a real experience. Yeah, yeah, it's so beautiful. Man, I just I appreciate you taking the time. We've both been busy, and I've been gone, and you've been busy working, and I don't know if people realize this, but like haste is just what we do for the love of what we do. Sometimes we get projects that pay the bills with it, but we're just dumb artists, so we haven't figured that out yet. We try, but anyways, we just do this on the side of things, and it's been really fun to see this. And I've been looking forward to this episode for a long time because it's one of my favorites that you've made, simply because the amount of craft love, and I feel like it's like everything combined for you, like everything combined into like the dream car, all of your years of making things, and then combining all those efforts from the welding marks on the rear differential to the way that you used a reflective light of a tree in the windshield. It's just so cool. All of those things combined, it just renders a really good, I think it's a great timestamp of where you were, who you are, and what you've become, and the time that you managed to do it. It's really cool. So I think it's
Thanks, man.
awesome. Yeah.
Thanks for these words. It means a lot. Uh, my takeaway is, to me, just a pure love letter for this car, and hopefully an intention for the future. And also, if it help in a way for those viewers, the people who's out there watching us doing stupid stuff, hopefully it's gonna be a inspiration to go wild and do something stupid and have fun, basically.
Yeah. And it looks like, I mean, also it's, I mean, you could speak to this as well as, do you think about the outside audience, their acceptance, praise, or joy with the work you do when you're going this far, or are you doing it selflessly just for yourself?
Pure selfish.
Be honest.
Yeah, pure selfish.
That's the best, dude. Yeah.
I don't even. It sounds like a kind of a.
Self-absorbent.
Yeah, but I don't even.
Isn't that it?
I guess so. That's the main purpose of what we're doing, right?
Yeah, we're just kind of like making our own thing for our own pleasure. I want to talk about that really briefly because I feel like what I've noticed with a lot of the younger designers or artists that I've seen is that I think that social media is ruining a lot of artists in the sense that they're doing it for these algorithmic numbers and they're thinking it's a game of feeling accomplished. And I think we all feel it in a sense where, oh, we made this thing and it's not viral, therefore it's not worthy. And then it's like, when has it anything great ever just been special for somebody? And I think it's best when just an artist just does their thing because they're selfishly absorbed with whatever they're interested in, and that selfish absorption just becomes something cool. And sometimes it takes off. I'm listening to this really interesting documentary. I'll send it to you. It's on Audible. It's called The History of Grunge. You know, grunge music like Nirvana and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's fascinating because we lived through that, and it's crazy the perspective, how much the perspective of my life has shifted. The Story of Grunge by Michael Stewart Foley. It's on Audible, but it's really cool because it references like this music scene called grunge that was not called grunge prior. But anyways, it was all these people just making music in their world because they were trying to express themselves. They were not thinking of it to be this thing. And then corporate everything came up and it blew it up, and Nirvana obviously became Nirvana, and then all these Alice in Chains and all this stuff that was like cultivated a culture that got crazier, you know. But anyways, what was making it special is that these artists were just doing it for the sake of their expression, curiosity, expressing themselves. And I think there's something really special there. And if you try to chase the opposite side of thing, if you try to become corporate minded prior to doing things, I think it's just, yeah, it ruins it. It basically takes all the joy out of an experience, I think. That's what I think. But I'm an artist, so I might be looking at it completely wrong.
I mean, obviously, we have our own subjective point of view. It could be really hard to be in another places, another mind. But it's through the social media, it came and disrupt everything. And it's another element, extra element in the mix. And it's really hard to manage. And I feel bad for the new artists, new people coming with this era, because I guess it's really hard, man. I remember back then, you know, comparison is part of the nature. It will be really overwhelmed by the surround, even the small circle. So I cannot even imagine now with the access we have. Yeah. That's overwhelmed, and it's really hard, man. And yeah, it's even for us, you know, we talk about social media because it's a massive tool. It's incredible. It's super powerful in the bad way, in the good way. If you're using right, it's incredible. But it's really easy to fall in the darkness. And yeah, you know, the more I think about all this technology, the more I think about this cheesy movie. I think I told you about this movie, Sphere, with
Sphere?
Sphere, yeah.
Yeah, with Dustin Hoffman,
yeah,
and Samuel
Jackson.
Yeah.
And Sharon
what is
Stone.
it? How do you connect that with this? I was actually just going to start reading it because I haven't watched it in a long time.
It's just, but I love the concept
allegory
of
for technology.
Yeah, allegory for technology, or tools, or alien technology, or even gift. What will you do if you have the power to change the world? And no spoiler, but we humans, we are not good managing that huge power.
That's a common story from the Greeks too, like Icarus and flying too close to the sun and all these things. These hubris moments of curiosity is great, but it can also yield horrible situations potentially. Yeah, we're in the mix of it right now with all the AI stuff too, which is interesting. Ultimate power, but everything has a cost. And if it's your soul, I don't know if it's worth it, you know? Yeah. But it just depends.
But going back to the conversation of the youngest artists, I guess it's part of also the journey.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can rely on, try to stand out and use the social media as you want, but always be aware about what is the cost, as you mentioned. What is the other side, But I guess that's also part of the journey and learning process.
totally. Yeah, we're looking at it as people that grew up pre-internet, and then we're in Web 2, which I'd say is the social internet, which is antisocial human. And what does that do to the human psyche? What does it do to us altogether? I'm looking forward to potentially Web 3, which is more about the human interaction and human connection. But yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, the reason why I brought all this and went on this tirade of thought is that you did this because you were interested in it and it was a passion thing, and then you fell into it and you used all those things. I think wouldn't you say that that's like I mean, I don't know. I don't want to impose my thought on it, but when you say that's what this is, what this project is, if you were to distill it down, remove the car as a thing, and that's the experience.
Yeah, I guess that is basically the experience. That's the massive process. Battling. I guess doing something similar, you can go with so many different experiences in life. You can apply that for so many different application output, but comparing with technology, if you're using the wrong way, that's when everything starts to fall apart. But again, it's really hard to pinpoint all this process, because now with technology advance so quickly and so fast. Now staring my own renders on all the massive process we're doing, sometimes feels kind of ridiculous, right?
But is it though? I don't think it is, because looking at it, this is 2 years old now, and I mean, I look at it differently than you, of course, because I didn't make it, but there's got to be some sense of like, that was a fun journey. That was enjoyable. I enjoyed myself. It's like your body's, we talked about your body's eventually going to deteriorate and your cells are going to have an issue or cancer or whatever, or you're going to die because you just cell destruction basically. And you're going to look at hiking. Uh-oh, he disappeared. No. It's just, if you were to look back on your life and let's say one of your goals is to climb a mountain or something like that, I think you would look back at it with fond memory. Like, I did that. That was a challenge and I overcame it. We're all kind of going through our own little mountains to climb, and I think, yeah, sure, you could take a helicopter to the top of it. Would you cherish it more? Maybe. I don't think so though, because it's too easy. There's a part of us that wants to have that journey. And if you remove that journey from it, I don't know. But yeah, it's so multifaceted. It's so many different angles to the approach of it.
Yeah, I guess in some point in your life you will be diminished or down because you're wasting time in certain tools or certain workflow.
Sure.
But through time, you realize that was part of the process, that pain,
Totally.
and that's part of the failure where you have to go through understanding. Probably the most accurate failure could be not learning about that process. You are not learning anything. That could be the detriment or the downside of not realizing about that. But as a human, we are clever enough to realize what is the problem or what is the issue. So we learn.
Not everybody.
I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic.
It takes a lot of work to be self-aware. Yeah.
I try to be optimistic here. We learn about the process, and the only thing in my side I'm really taking care of is not having regrets, and I'm really taking care of my brain to go clean. If I go to the bed, I don't have any noise get me awake at night. I'm really fortunate about having that for my entire life, which is great. Maybe because I have really short memory. I'm deleting all the fucked up I'm doing, all the bad things I'm doing.
Yeah, your RAM is changing. You're just dumping out the RAM.
Yeah, that could be my gift, just deleting all the stuff. I'm sleeping
RAM
like
reset every morning.
Yeah, sleeping like a baby. So, but for real, yeah. But in the end of the day, is about that process. And as we talk and coming back to the podcast, that's why I'm really proud and happy we are coming back to the podcast and talk about stuff what we're doing. Doesn't make any sense, or does, I don't know, but it's fun for sure.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, man. On that note, this is an amazing episode. Thank you for making it happen and for making this and sharing the journey and all your knowledge, and also everybody that's joining along with us and enjoying the process and getting to see everything. Yeah, we hope everybody's doing well and staying healthy and making them great things for themselves and their own curiosity and desire to make rad stuff. And keep going, everybody. Let's keep pushing this human centipede.
The human experience.
Yes, human centipede experience. Yeah.
You mentioned
Awesome.
Human Centipede. That's not a movie.
That's a movie. I think so. Yeah, it's like a horror movie that then South Park made like a parody of it too.
Yeah, I remember that. Sorry. Yeah.
Too good. Go watch it, everybody. I've never seen it, so I don't know. Yeah.
I watch it. It's not worth to watch it again.
It's like your top 5 movie. Human Centipede.
No, man.
Every night you watch it before bed just to unload your RAM. Well, at least my life isn't this bad. Let me just... Okay. Awesome. Cool.
All right, man.
All right. Well, see everybody.
Thank you. Adios.
Adios.